Hello, stargazers and future seekers. Welcome to our sparkling journey through the skies. I'm Astrid, your guide to the celestial stories written in the stars. Today, we're going to unravel the mysteries of horoscopes. Where do they come from? How were they created? And what secrets do they hold for us? From the ancient times to this very moment, people have looked up to the stars for guidance. The horoscope, a map of the heavens, was born from this starry curiosity. It's like a cosmic snapshot of the sky at the moment of your birth. Each sign, a piece of the zodiac puzzle, tells us about personality traits, future challenges, and hidden opportunities. In this session, we'll dive deep into the origins of these astrological signs, explore the myths and legends that gave them life, and decode the symbols that have guided human destiny for centuries. And because the stars are always on the move, we'll also peek into the future with some insights for each horoscope prediction for December. Will love blossom for Taurus? Is an adventure waiting for Sagittarius? It's all written in the stars, and I can't wait to share it with you. So, grab your telescopes and open your minds. We're about to embark on a cosmic adventure like no other. Let's discover what the stars have in store for us. The universe is vast and full of wonders, and it all begins here, with a whisper from the heavens. Ready to explore? Let's go! Hey there, superstars! Did you know that every one of us has a special group of stars in the sky that tells a story about us? It's like having your very own starry piece of the sky based on your birthday. These groups of stars are called constellations, and they're like big dot-to-dot drawings that form shapes of animals or objects. Imagine you're outside on a clear night, and you see thousands of twinkly stars. Did you know that with your eyes, you can see about 6,000 of them? And guess what? Each star belongs to a constellation family. By connecting the dots, or in this case, the brightest stars, you can figure out which constellation is which. They're named after all sorts of things like animals. Think of the great hunter Orion or the fierce scorpion Scorpius. Now, a super long time ago, people looked at the stars and started making up stories about them. They created patterns to help remember where the stars are. This wasn't just something people did for fun, it was really important for them to track the time of year and navigate around the world. Today, scientists have mapped out the sky into 88 official constellations to make sure every star has a home. But here's where it gets a bit tricky. There's something called astrology, which is like a cousin to astronomy. Astrology uses the idea of constellations to guess what might happen in our lives, kind of like a fortune cookie. Some people think it's fun, but it's not really based on science like astronomy is. Astrology has its own star signs, like the ones you find when people talk about horoscopes. In English, we say constellation when we talk about the starry groups in the sky. But for astrology, the special word is sign, which is like a symbol or a special mark that represents each of the 12 parts of the zodiac. That's the path the sun appears to take in the sky with all those constellations. So, if you're curious about which constellation is linked to your birthday, you can look up an astronomy chart instead of an astrology sign to find out. It's like a cosmic birthday present that's always up in the sky just for you. Did you know that the star constellations we see today started as a twinkling idea over 5,000 years ago? That's like, way before your great-great-great-great-grandparents were even born. It all began in a place called Babylon, one of the coolest ancient cities. Imagine a sky filled with more than 20 special star groups, which they called constellations. Now, picture this, ancient Babylonian astronomers, who were like the superstar scientists of their day, looked up and imagined sections of the sky. They kept adding more and more until they had about 30 constellations. Fast forward to about 3,000 years ago, the Greek astronomers came along. They were like, let's add some sparkle to this, and they added stories and myths to these star patterns. By the time a super smart Greek astronomer named Ptolemy came to the scene, there were 48 official constellations. He connected the brightest stars with imaginary lines to make them look like animals or people, and matched them with the coolest stories from Greek myths. So, now when we look up, we don't just see stars, we see heroes, animals, and even monsters from those old tales, all hanging out in the sky above us. Isn't that amazing? Stars are not just shiny dots, they are like pages of a storybook, telling us tales of adventures and legends every night. Okay, everyone, get ready for a birthday adventure in the stars. Did you know that each month has its very own star sign? It's like having a special team in the sky just for the time you were born. Here's the all-star lineup. Aries is the ram that loves to lead. Taurus, the bull, is as strong as they come. Gemini, the twins, are all about sharing stories. Cancer, the crab, is a real homebody. Leo, the lion, is the king of the jungle and the stars. Virgo, the maiden, is super smart and kind. Libra, the scales, is all about balance and fairness. Scorpio, the scorpion, is intense and powerful. Sagittarius, the archer, is always aiming for the stars. Capricorn, the sea goat, climbs to the top. Aquarius, the water bearer, is a true original. And Pisces, the fish, swims in a sea of dreams. Want to know which team you're on? Just look up your birthday, and you'll find your star sign. It's super easy, just like finding out if you're on Team Aries or Team Leo. Go on, give it a try and see which part of the starry sky is cheering just for you. You might sometimes wonder if your horoscope is playing a game of hide and seek because it doesn't seem quite right. Well, are you sure you're checking the correct one? Some folks think horoscope predictions are more for fun than serious business. Sometimes they hit the bullseye. And other times they miss the target. But did you know that these starry forecasts actually come from a fancy thing called transits in astrology? When astrologers write our horoscopes, they use our sun sign as a kind of map, and then they look at where the planets are hanging out in the sky to write predictions for each of the 12 signs. So, should you be checking your sun sign or your rising sign for the real scoop? In astrology, they use the current planets' dance moves in the sky to figure out what's happening for us. And it all starts with your rising sign, which is like the front door to your life's big adventure house. This rising sign sets up the order for all the other houses. Think of them like rooms in your adventure house. For example, if your rising sign is Aries, then your money room is in Taurus, and your partnership room is in Libra, and so on. If the planets are having a party in Libra, then those with Aries rising might find some exciting happenings in their love and teamwork room. If it's in Taurus, then it might be about money matters. Your horoscope is mainly written based on this adventure house setup. That's your rising sign, which calls the shots on what happens. Your sun sign, though, is more like the music that plays in your head. It's all about how you feel inside. If an astrologer doesn't know your rising sign, they'll spin the records using your sun sign with a system that gives a pretty good guess. So, when you're stargazing your horoscope, it's best to look at both your rising sign and your sun sign. Think of it like this: your rising sign is 80% of the show, running the main event, while your sun sign adds 20% of the vibe, affecting how you feel about it all. Got it? Now you're ready to read those stars like a pro. How do you match your zodiac sign with your fortune? First off, you gotta find out what your rising sign is. This is like a special secret that depends on the exact minute you were born. Some years have daylight saving time, so you might have to do some math to figure it out. You also need to peek at the degrees of your rising sign. If it's at the very end, the next sign might sneak into your fortune too. Imagine you have 12 houses in your star chart, like if you're a rising Aries, then Taurus chills in the second house, Gemini in the third, and so on. These 12 houses are like stages for your starry fortunes, and if your rising sign is at the end of a sign, take a look at the next one's fortunes too. Each rising sign has a guardian star. For rising Aries, it's the fiery Mars. Taurus and Libra have the lovely Venus. Gemini and Virgo have the chatty Mercury. Cancer's got the Moon, and Leo's got the Sun. Scorpio's guarded by the mysterious Pluto and Mars. Sagittarius has lucky Jupiter. Capricorn has serious Saturn. Aquarius has quirky Uranus and Saturn, and Pisces has dreamy Neptune and Jupiter. With these guardian stars in your pocket, you can be super smart about checking your fortunes. When certain planets go retrograde, they stir up more drama for you. Like, if you're a rising Gemini or Virgo, you gotta be extra careful when Mercury is going backwards. Why do we get a kick out of studying horoscopes? Why do zodiac signs fascinate us?